This is Robin Nelson with Horror Pop After Midnight. I'm at Cincinnati Comic Expo. I'm with comic artist Tristan. How's it going, Tristan?
Good. Thanks for joining me.
All right. Tell me how you fell in love with doing art.
How I fell in love with doing art? It's just something I've always been into. So I would say one of the biggest parts that drew me to art was my dad showed me a Frank Frazetta book, probably like when I was 12. And once I saw it, I was already into art, but once I saw it, I was like, oh, I want to do that. Like, I didn't realize art could be that cool. So that kind of drew me in the rabbit hole.
So I know you've done some covers for Zenscope. How did Zenscope find you to do some great covers for them?
I can't say for certain, but I think how they found me was I posted my Vampirella piece to ArtStation, and then another Instagram account shared it, and it got tons of traction, and I think Zenescope probably followed them, and then they found me through that. But like I said, I can't say for certain. I just think that's how it happened.
So tell me about show me one of the covers of Robin Hood. I love reading Robin Hood from Zenscope. That's a cool cover.
Thanks. This one was done in 2021, so it's about 2 years old. But again, it was one of my favorites. I mean, I printed the banner of it, so it's definitely a hot seller. I think I only have 2 of them left. So if anyone's into it, there it is.
Now show me the cool Tank Girl cover. I like this cover. I may buy this from you.
So actually, this was just a print that I did, but it was a full-size 24 by 36 movie poster, and it was for a gallery show I do in Indianapolis every year where there's a different theme that you're assigned every year. So that year's theme was 90s movies, and so I was assigned Tank Girl, so I had to study, watch the movie, and then did the poster over that.
So what was your thoughts of Tank Girl?
The movie? I give it a 3 out of 10, honestly. It was kind of a trudge to get through. There's funny parts, but I can't say I enjoyed it, but it was creative. I'll say that.
Have you checked out any of the comics?
I haven't, but I know the creator also did the Gorillas, right? He created the characters for that. I'm, again, not a huge fan of Gorillas. That's how I knew the link with his art. It was like, oh, it's the same guy. So that was interesting, but that's about as far as it goes.
Now, tell me about this print you did. Was this from a comic book, or was this one of your prints?
This was actually my first published comic. It was an exclusive through Comics Elite. Dynamite. It was my very first one. It came out in 2021, and they did a bloody version and a clean version. Obviously, the bloody version sold out pretty fast, but I was really happy to do a Red Sonja as my first published comic because I love the character. Like I said, I grew up loving Frank Frazetta's work, and a lot of his characters resemble Red Sonja, so yeah, I was totally excited for that to be my first published one.
So are you a big horror fan?
I don't know. I feel like I'm a fan, but I've seen some fans that I would agree I'm not on their level. So maybe, depending on what you're going to ask next.
So what's that one horror film that you like?
Oh, I would say maybe top 3 would be Nightmare on Elm Street, The Shining, and The Thing. Probably my top 3.
So have you ever thought about doing some horror art too?
I have in the past because I used to do the Cincinnati Horror Hound, but I haven't had a chance to really do any more art after that. So when I look at it now, it looks kind of amateur to me, so I don't print it anymore because I feel like it doesn't represent my skill level now. But no, I have done art in the past. I did a Nightmare on Elm Street, and I also did a Friday the 13th, which are pretty mainstream horror movies, but those are the only horror art I've really done.
So where can everybody find you on social media so they can follow you and get some of your art?
So all my social media is pretty much just TriStarr.art. So my website is literally TriStarr.art. My Instagram, TriStarr.art. ArtStation and YouTube channel is TriStarr.art. Facebook. So just search that and you'll find it. The only exception is Twitter is TriStarr_art because they won't allow periods in the names.
All right. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. I'm glad you found me.
And there you have it.